Hi, Peanut. I'm gonna need you to come with me right now. Let's fucking go! Let's fucking go.
Hi there, it's Micha. With a new Deadpool movie about to drop, I thought it would be a good idea to do a prediction video, which I have not done before. As I had that idea pretty close to the actual release date, I thought to save time, let's try to do an unscripted video, which I tried and planned to do in the past a lot. So let's see how this will go, and I will apologize in advance in case I don't sound that eloquent. Okay, let's start with saying that, of course, I will not use any leaks because that is just cheating. I will just refer to stuff we saw in the MCU so far and in everything that they dropped so far in regards of trailers and teasers. And I will continue with my expectations. My expectations are pretty clear. I hope they will have a lot of fun with it because it is Deadpool. And I imagine that they will go into a lot of spaces and doing a lot of references across all the MCU and a lot of stuff we already saw in the trailers and teasers, and I will touch on that in a second. My big expectation though is, and that is my big hope, that they finally dare to do something definitive. If you remember in WandaVision, they teased a little bit about what's going on with the multiverse. That is also true for Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, where they touched on a lot of stuff and showed us a little bit of the multiverse, but didn't really do anything that would change the whole MCU. If you then look at Loki, where they said that the series will not change the multiverse or the MCU at all, there they ended up doing quite a lot, especially in the last episode of the second season, where basically Loki reshuffled the whole multiverse, now sitting at the center, and it is now a tree and not a line or a circle or however you wanted to call it before. And it can now grow with as many variances as that multiverse deserved or demanded to have. And even in the Spider-Man movie No Way Home, we also had a little bit of the multiverse going on, but also it had no consequence at all at the end because they just closed all the openings and nothing really changed. So I hope, and this is my big expectation that I talked about in the beginning, that this movie will finally dare to say, now things actually have changed. Let's go from there, because I guess that with the TVA having such a big impact in the last episode of Loki Season 2, and we have already seen that the TVA will be a large part of this movie, I expect that they actually really will change something substantially that will have a large effect on the MCU going forward, and not just being fun inside this one movie, even though I hope that they will still have a lot of fun there. And with that also, of course, a lot of fun for us, because I really want us to be entertained there. So let's get to some ideas I have that might come true, and a lot of the stuff is pretty straightforward and you would say, ah, that's quite obvious, I guess. And some other stuff maybe not, but I am just throwing it out there. Let's get again back to the TVA. So we see someone new running the TVA. It is not Mobius, it is not someone we know from the Loki show, so it's some new character, and that, I guess, is due to the fact that Mobius left the TVA at the last episode. But I still expect Owen Wilson to appear in this movie in some kind of form, because he is out there and he is still, in my opinion, quite important for the TVA, so he might be brought in at a certain point or at least have a cameo. Then there's the big thing that the TVA apparently is portrayed in the trailer, or at least it is apparently that way, as the bad guys. Because you see Deadpool slashing himself through a lot of agents there, and in the beginning of the trailer he is basically recruited by them. So the appearance is he is first recruited and afterwards he will fight them. I think that is a red herring, and I think the fighting scenes we see with the TVA agents is something that will happen in the very beginning of a movie. So Deadpool is likely fighting them because there is some incident that he thinks he needs to fight them, Maybe he doesn't know who they are or what they do. And because of that fight, they are getting aware of him, and then they will recruit him, and then they will be the good guys fighting alongside him. At least that is my theory there. I also think that we will see either Sylvie or Loki, or maybe both of them, because Loki in a very literal sense is now at the center of it all. So maybe it is him that actually thinks that they should recruit Deadpool to get on that mission, whatever that mission will be. I mean, in the past, after the season finale of Loki, I was sure that he will return in some kind of way. What I thought is that over time, either he will be able to leave this place where he is holding and rooting down the whole multiverse, or he finds someone who will step in, taking his place at least temporarily if he has some kind of mission that he has to go on outside of that place. Which makes sense because I guess no one hopes or no one thinks that Tom Hiddleston will be completely out of the universe. And since Tom Hiddleston kept himself quite low profile lately, I assume truly that he will also be in that movie, at least in a small role. I mean, we have already seen a lot in the teasers that gives us an idea what will happen in the funny parts of the movie.
Oh my God.
Sabretooth, ready to die. Wait. Time!
So we see that all of the bad guys from the first original X-Men movie, Sabretooth, Toad, and all the other guys, all the villains, are there and they will fight each other once more. So that could mean that they either go to that original X-Men universe and we will see if that will be destroyed or if they will merge it somehow with the true universe we are in the main timeline or the main universe of the MCU, or if that will be something just for fun. I guess it will be a little bit of both. In the teasers and trailers they threw in a lot of stuff.
You got the wrong guy.
You were always the wrong guy. Till you weren't.
There's also the girl from Logan, which is Wolverine's daughter in that timeline, in that universe. And I guess everyone agrees that the Logan movie is a standalone universe anyway. It's not in the main timeline of the X-Men universe and not in the timeline of the MCU. We also hear Deadpool saying that Wolverine is his favorite X-Men, so we know from the Deadpool movies anyway that these are playing in the same universe with the original X-Men trilogy and maybe also the other movies that play in that alternate timeline where everyone is younger, so this First Class timeline and stuff like that, where they at the end also repaired the stuff, the damage that the third X-Men movie did to the whole franchise. So I guess this will also have a deeper role, a deeper impact, that they will go from there, hopefully, and then make sure that everyone from that moment in time on survives. So basically that you have Cyclops back, you have Jean Grey back before she turned into Dark Phoenix. So I guess that will be happening sometime. As in one part of the trailer, Deadpool says that he needs to save his universe. So his universe seems to be in danger. We see a little bit of spaghettification going on in one part of a teaser. So maybe that is what is threatening his universe. Maybe now that the MCU, in a meta sense of way, is taking over everything. So maybe they play with the idea that this universe is now fading and going away. And that is why Wade, a.k.a. Deadpool, needs to save it. That also implies that the Wolverine in this movie is not from their timeline, it's not from the MCU, of course, because there the mutants are just appearing slowly with Ms. Marvel and everything around that. So chances are that the Logan is actually the Logan from the movie Logan, where everyone else is already dead and he feels responsible for it because he couldn't help stop it. If that is true, or if he is from a completely different timeline where everyone he knows also died, we will find out. Maybe he's also a variant, maybe they will grab him from a point in time before everything is going to shit. We will see, but for sure he will be not the Logan we know from the X-Men movies. Although that would be cool, but I don't know how they would pull that off. Ultimately, I think this universe where shit hit the fan might be an alternate one where Ant-Man existed in parallel with the X-Men, because in one scene we see the head of a dead Ant-Man, so just the skull, which refers to maybe a universe where both of those characters existed. So that would be also an interesting take if they try to do that, but we will see. But seeing this scene from the final trailer, it suggests that most of those characters and the main villain are all variants because it seems to take place at the end of time, as suggested by seeing the smoke monster. What that means I cannot say just now. I just hope that this doesn't mean that everything that happens in this movie has no relevance for the main MCU universe. But at the very least we will have a fun ride, so let's not get our hopes down. I also mentioned Spider-Man before, and in one scene of a teaser, Deadpool is acting like a big Spider-Man fanboy.
Stop it.
So maybe they also bring in Spider-Man in that regards? Because if I remember correctly, at the end of No Way Home, you see that there are a lot of different circles created by Doctor Strange opening, where some kinds of creatures are supposed to go through and come into our universe. And when I say our universe, of course, I mean the main line of the MCU. So I could imagine that in one scene in the teaser and trailer, you see that both of them, Deadpool and Wolverine, are jumping towards some of those circles. So maybe they are coming through that circle directly into the world of Spider-Man at that point in time. Which would mean they are in the MCU and in our universe. Of course, that could also mean that they land somewhere else, but I'm pretty sure that is a circle from either Doctor Strange or from Benedict Wong's character. So they will likely also have a cameo, or at least one of them. Okay, I was yapping on long enough now, so one last call out. As you might remember from the Marvels, if you have seen it, at the end of a movie you have Monica Rambeau being stranded in another universe where Beast, played by Kelsey Grammer, is around, and some other characters that might be either the actual X-Men universe from the X-Men movies, or some kind of a similar universe at least, where also Beast in that form exists. After I saw that ending of a movie, I was pretty sure that they have to touch on that in the Deadpool movie. So I guess maybe his main mission will be to bring Monica home, and that way he will start having that fight with all the villains from the original X-Men movies. So I guess that is where they come in, but again we will see. So a quick recap. I guess that the TVA will be the good guys, the fight with the TVA will just be a red herring that will happen in the very beginning, and the main mission will be that something from the X-Men universe, which here might be Monica Rambeau, needs to be rescued to the MCU universe. And in that way, I guess that Wolverine, from whichever dimension he is coming from, and our Deadpool, which of course will be our Deadpool, anything else would be crazy, will end up in the MCU universe and hopefully stay there for good. If that also means that they bring over the other X-Men characters is another question, and the last thing I want to say is I hope they manage to bring them over for good and not just for that movie. If the end of a movie is Logan and Deadpool going back to their universe and then they are divided again from the main MCU universe, I would be pretty disappointed, but I hope, that is what I said in the beginning, that they will finally do something to bring some clarity into the whole multiverse madness thing that they have created. Especially now that it seems that the whole Kang character and all the things that they planned with the Dynasty of Kang might be in danger, as they have decided to part ways with Jonathan Majors. They could still recast him, but I don't know, maybe they go a completely different way. But again, like I said in the beginning, I hope after this movie we will finally know in which direction the MCU will go forward in the future. What about you? What do you think about those theories? Do you think something of that is true, or do you think I'm just completely out of my mind? Whatever you like to share, please leave in the comments, and do it quickly, because in a few days the movie is hitting the cinema anyways. So much for now, see you next time, and thanks for watching. Whew.